Hello and welcome to the Old Man Orange podcast. I'm Spencer Scott Holmes.
I'm Ryan Dunigan.
And this is a double movie feature podcast, I guess you could say.
Yay.
So we're going to talk about The Dark
I'm more
Knight
excited than I let on. Good.
Returns Part 2 and Bullet to the Head.
I know we're going to go on for a while when it comes to Batman, so let's get Bullet to the Head out of the way.
Yeah,
Bullet to the Head. That this is a bad movie. It was entertaining.
No, actually, I thought it was pretty good. I mean, it's one of those movies, just kind of like Arnold's movie. It's more of a movie like Stallone's just like, here, this is just for the fans. This is kind of what they want. We're not going to break any new ice here. We're just going to, give a good old romper-stomper action movie.
That's all it is. And it's a very predictable story. It's very straightforward. But you don't really go to these movies to be like, oh, gee, I wonder if Stallone's going to beat the bad guys. It's really just like, oh, cool, let's see Stallone swear and punch people in the face.
Yeah, well,
and kill.
And I think it's one of those ones, too, because these movies don't really exist anymore too much.
No, they don't. It was really like playing off like an 80s action film.
Well, no, because it even had like the film grain, and it just had like an 80s kind of vibe.
Whenever they had the transition, they had the harmonica and the guitar.
Well, they're in Louisiana, so that's also the other thing too.
It fit, but still, just like, oh yeah, I kind of forgot about that.
Because it kind of has like, they don't have to have like, it's strange enough, the trailer has like that weird like modern rock, radio rock song where it's like, well, I don't think they got played on the radio still. Because I'm a badass! Do-do-do-do-do!
If I had to guess, it's something, I don't know, because I don't listen to that kind of music, but I have to guess it's probably some like Hollywood Undead or some bullshit like that.
Well, isn't Hollywood Undead more like a techno band?
Hollywood Undead.
I know they have like some metal elements to it, but that band felt more like hard rock than anything else.
Hollywood Undead from the, because I have a friend that listens to some of them.
Because I've heard their stuff, and their stuff, it feels like a mix between like,
it's like
techno pop and like metal or hard rock.
Well, it's kind of like,
whatever you want to consider it this day and age.
It's like Limp Bizkit and Linkin Park had a one-night methed out stand. They came out with this Dumpster Baby.
And that was Hollywood Undead.
Yeah,
and it was Slipknot just because they have those weird masks.
Yeah. It was like raised by Slipknot on the weekends, maybe.
Yeah,
it's kind of like that.
But it's funny because like you watch the movie, it has actually absolutely none of that music. And actually, the one thing I like too is because whenever there's a fight scene, there's no music. I like that where you just get to hear like the grunts and the sounds of punching and like axes swinging and shit breaking.
Wasn't there some music in the final like axe scene?
Nope, it was pure silent. It was just the fucking axes, the punching, the grunting. It was just man fist. It was man music is what it was.
Man music. Just like just a CD, just best of man jams. And what it is just like Arnold.
It's just like men in the gym grunting while you hear people like chopping wood and like
chainsaws maybe.
And like starting up lawnmowers.
Maybe Arnold scream like blah 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 doing that in there somewhere.
Yeah.
To mix it up a bit. No, but I want to say this real quick. The whole like what was the name of the guy? Like the guy that played the cop. He was also he played Han in the Fast and Furious films.
I can't remember. I feel so bad. I don't know what that guy's name is. I just call him Han from Fast and the Furious.
Whenever I see that dude in movies, I always like him. His character. I mean, really, when it gets down to it, it's kind of weird. It's a weird relation I have with interpretation of this character because. Really, that character was doing things that pissed me off that I didn't like, but just because that guy was playing him, because I liked it, because for whatever reason, that actor has so much charisma, and he's just such a cool. I like.
He's got a good look. He's got a good voice.
Whenever I see him in there's other movies I'm drawing a blank on, but I've seen him in other movies he was pretty good in, and I'm just
Fast and the Furious.
Fast and the Furious, yeah, but there's another one.
See, he was so good in Fast and Furious 3, and he died with it that they're like, fuck, we gotta find ways to bring him back for 4 and 5.
So now
make it like a prequel.
Now 3 is just like almost kind of like a period piece.
Well, that's kind of the weird thing. Is
the other ones are period pieces.
Yeah, the other ones are like period pieces, and 3 is really like the last one. It's just because really, I think that Han thing. That's the only thing that fucking
they find a way to bring him back, and then they find a way to bring him back in the next one or something. They'll probably bring in the guy from number 3 in the next one.
Well, the weird thing too is they keep having modern cars, but the movie takes place like in 2006 for some reason.
But that guy, he's such a good actor, and he just kind of, the thing with him in this movie is his character's not that well written, even though he's doing all these stupid things that are kind of annoying.
Well, he's kind of the bitch of the movie.
He is the bitch, but it's just kind of like, usually I hate this character, but since that guy's playing him, I can't really hate him. I can't explain. It's really weird. Because he's doing all these things to piss me off, because he'll just do stupid shit like, listen, Stallone, it's the law. We can't go and do this.
I'm a cop.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that moment in one of these movies where the guy just closes his eyes. He goes, I don't want to.
It's almost like a Three Stooges thing where like Stallone goes like, "Oh, you fucking idiot," and starts slapping him across the face like, whoop, 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 whoop.
Arnold then bonks him on the head. And
don't be an asshole.
They're just these two big guys beating up on this small Asian guy. People would pay to see that. You know, I wonder how that go. Like, oh, check it. You're gonna be in a movie with Arnold and Stallone. Oh my god, that's so awesome. But
they're gonna make fun of you and beat the shit out of you the whole movie through.
Make racist jokes at the same time.
Can I make racist jokes back? No, they'll get offended.
Yeah. Well, what if it offends me? Who gives a fuck? You're not Arnold or Stallone.
You're not Arnold Stallone.
No, but like
Arnold Stallone could run around punching babies. Nobody's gonna say anything.
who's gonna stop him? Really?
Yeah. You can bring a tank and they might just destroy it.
Only one of them could have beat the other. So if they're teamed up,
they're all together. We just really have to bow down and worship them.
We're all kind of fucked, really.
Look, they're 60 fucking years old and they're still in control.
He's bench pressing a fucking tank over there. He's not even tired yet. Fuck. Anyway, but no.
Sometimes those movies kind of come across though, where like, and I think it's been like that for years in these kind of movies, where like, same almost with Arnold movies, where it's like they gotta they gotta be the coolest looking guy in the movie no matter what, so everybody else has to get a little bit shamed down.
Yeah.
The only jokes that kind of get made to him is just because Stallone's like, "You're old." Yeah.
That's all I got. What do you got? I got this phone I do all my work on. But the funny thing is,
a fucking BlackBerry from 2006.
Like, I'm not trying to be one of those people like, ew, you got an old phone. I'm not one of those people. But the thing is, they got across, like, he's got one of them high-tech fancy phones. They chipped on trying to get that across. And like you just said, it was an old BlackBerry from like 06. And it was just like, okay, I mean...
It's probably a newer BlackBerry, but
it looked like it.
I mean, it probably was a 2002 BlackBerry, or 2012 BlackBerry or something. But, because BlackBerry hasn't changed their look forever. But still, it just felt kind of like dated more, I guess.
Yeah, it just looked like it was. I don't know. Maybe just...
Well, like when Stallone pulls it out, he's got the fucking phone where you have to extend the antenna out.
Yeah. Well, they kept on making the thing like, oh, he does everything on his phone. Like, his phone's like his main weapon and all that. He kept on saying. And
which is kind of true, though. I mean, I think about it in my life, I go like, oh, who's that fucking actor? Let me look up my phone.
Yeah.
Where's the close place to eat? Because I don't feel like looking outside the window.
Yeah.
As we drive through this town.
Yeah.
So I guess if you're fucking a cop, you'd be like, let me look at the records of this guy.
I guess it's just one of those things. Maybe it was a newer phone. It just looked like an older phone to me. Because, like you said, BlackBerry.
Well, because I mean, go look at a BlackBerry right now. Like, they still look the same. They kind of like have that like the screen above and like the little keyboard below.
Oh, I thought they did kind of like the Microsoft phone thing.
No, they don't. They stayed. I think because like there's enough fans. Even though I know that company's like dying out. I think there's a core group of fans that just really like that style, like Kyle does.
Kyle has a BlackBerry,
but he likes that style. I don't think he'd get the touchscine one. So that's who they're appealing to.
Yeah.
They're using Han to appeal to it. Perfect character, because he's in Fast and the Furious, so it's going to really appeal to Kyle.
Like we always say this, we always use names people no one knows, really.
That's okay. Actually, I hear people on the podcast that they start talking about their buddies that you have no idea who they are either.
Actually, to help you with Kyle, there's actually a scene in our original live-action drunk Batman movie. There's a part where there's the flashback.
He plays
Bruce Wayne that was just starting to drink and become an alcoholic, which it really says a lot. It's like, okay... You could be a good-looking guy like Kyle. You start to drink, you end up looking like me. So
it's almost, you don't really think about it. You just kind of like when you're making it, just comes across. You're like, oh, that seems a little insulting. Whatever.
Well, I wrote it, so it doesn't bother me. Well, we actually both wrote. Yeah, I know what I mean.
Well, yeah.
We both came up with the idea. Who should play? Good-looking guy. We should get Kyle.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, no, but so moving on. Bullet to the head, right. I thought it was also kind of fun. I want to say this real quick. This isn't so much the movie, but it's just like the audience we saw the movie with.
Okay, this is really weird because I pointed out, it was like, I thought of it exactly too. There was like the three like older 60-year-old douchebag guys, and then there was the three like 18-year-old douchebag guys. It was literally like, here's these guys at age 18, here's these guys at age 60.
What if those three kids like stood up, pulled out like blunderbuss from Looper, and shot the guys across the room?
Yeah. It's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah. They almost kind of expected that. Because
strangely enough, it was the older guys that were more obnoxious than the younger guys.
Yeah, because they were going like, oh shit! When whenever like Stallone killed somebody.
Yeah.
Like, when they show, there's a scene where they show like Stallone's like hot tattooed daughter all naked, and they're like, oh fuck, that's fine, you know. Yeah. And as we're coming in, like, you know, maybe if you just sat down and actually had like a beer with those guys, they're pretty cool. But in the movie theater, no, because when they
leaned over us right when they first came in,
like, hey, how you guys doing? They're like, doing good. Ready to watch Stallone kick some ass? Like, yeah, sure, why not? All right, you guys aren't gonna be rowdy, are you?
No. I was like, no. Stallone might be rowdy.
Is that what he said to you?
Yeah, he asked. He's like, you guys aren't gonna be rowdy.
I just leaned over like,
Stallone might be rowdy, and then he didn't say anything after that. Like. Yeah, goddamn right, I'm rowdy. Fucking idiot.
Looks over at you like, you're cool. Leans over, sees me like, I got my fucking eye on you.
That reminds me like that time, Cisco is also on the podcast at points, but we were in Santa Barbara one time at this place called Isla Vista. Like, and it's just like, it's like this like little college town, which we went to go visit one of our friends that was down there at school. And we go to this pizza place, and this is like when you go to a college town, I think it's my first time ever being in a college town, you're like, it's fucking like the Lost Boys from like age 18 to like 24. There's like no older people and no really young people. It's just like only college age people. But in this pizza place, there was a guy that was like 65 years old, and he stand in front of us in line.
He's the Captain Hook.
Yeah, he looked kind of like the Captain Hook of the town. He's probably like raping like the boys on like his off time. And he turns around and looks at me, and I had this long blonde hair at the time, and he's all like, "You look like them Johnny Winters fella." I was all, "Oh, that's cool, you know, good band." He turns around, goes back, and we're like, "Oh," look at each other like, "Oh, that's interesting." Then he turns around and looks at Cisco and goes, "I'm gonna kick you in the fucking head."
Because he's Mexican.
I guess. I don't know why.
In Mona Vista.
I don't know if he was like Cisco's threatening. No, it's called Isla Vista.
Isla Vista?
And sounds
oh
like
my god,
like,
there's
it sounds like the other island of like Jurassic Park, but still. But we were just like, we just kind of left. I think we were getting sodas or something. We were like, "Oh, we'll come back. This is not really worth our time to hang out there."
You guys just sat down and just kind of like at the table. You see him looking at Cisco through the winter, just like cracking his knuckles or something.
"I'm gonna fuck you up, boy." It's just like
just...
once like, and I remember Cisco. He just sits down. He's like, "Well, I guess that's what people think of you and me. They think you look like a guitar legend. They just want to kick me in the fucking head."
You guys go to like the friend's house you're staying at. You see like that old hobo guy out there with a stick and bindle, just looking up at the window.
Like he's not leaving. He just fucking stands there,
just waiting.
The sun sets, the moon rises, the moon sets again, and the sun rises. Never changed position.
He hasn't even fucking blinked.
He scratches his nuts once and then goes back to staring.
Yeah, that was his break. No, but anyway, like, how the fuck did we get off on that?
I don't know. Something about.
No, but anyway,
old people.
Oh, douches. That's what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, douchebags.
No, but like this movie, I thought Christian Slater played a pretty good douchebag.
I actually really like Christian Slater because I didn't even know he was in the movie. It was just like when the titles came up, I was like, "Fuck, Christian Slater's in there." Because I like Christian Slater actually. I just wish he was in more movies.
He doesn't really get starring roles now, and whenever he is in a movie, he's kind of like, "Hey guys, I'm a douche. I'm Christian Slater. It's what I do now."
I still look like I'm kind of like 28, but with wrinkles.
He looked like 28 with like, he just kind of like had like a little bit of a beard coming in this movie.
Yeah,
I just hit puberty.
He's one of those kind of guys. It looks like he still looks like a fucking kind of kid, sort of. It's like, oh, I got this. I got the Jurassic Park on Blu-ray finally, like the trilogy.
The Jurassic Park on the Blu-ray,
and they got this like new special features where it's kind of like looking back at Jurassic Park and all that stuff, and it shows the fucking kids, and the kid that played Tim. He's got to be like 30 something by now, like 35. He looks like he's like fucking 18 still. I was like laughing so hard when I saw that. It was just like, he's like, "Well, hey fella, I was in Jurassic Park. My stub's coming in, but you know, I'm manning up. My dad says I can take the car out on the weekends.
As long as I bring him out the full tank."
Yeah, and as long as I keep giving him my like paycheck from Jurassic Park that I keep coming in, he lets me stay there and hang out by the pool. Invite my buddies over.
The pool that I bought, by the way.
That I bought, but like my dad still puts his name on it. He actually fucking carved it into the bottom of the pool before he filled it.
Dave's.
And he says I can only eat like 1/4 of the bag of Doritos, but that's okay. I mean, like,
even though I pay for all of it.
Yeah, even though I pay for all of it.
That Jurassic Park money's actually kind of running out, and
good thing it's coming out in 3D. Go see it.
He's like this big smile, like sitting on his face. Just has like
That's
this.
all I got. The Lost World check's not nearly as big because my part was very, very little.
It has like a single tear building up in the corner of his eye. It streams down over this very false smile.
It goes over his beard and the beard just kind of washes off. It's not even fucking real.
Oh, I gotta buy another magic marker now to put that in there. Used up all the ink on the last one.
My dad says I'm gonna get high if I keep using them. He doesn't let me have them. I gotta sneak them in. I'm 35.
Oh, that poor guy.
I know. But the chick actually turned out a lot. But she looks good.
She looks good. He really just looked like a 35-year-old guy.
Well, he was 35-year-old, but he looked like he was like fucking 18.
Really? Wow, has it been that long? Because I want to say...
Well, because he was like, okay, 1993, and he was probably about 10.
Maybe, yeah, 10.
No, he was older than 8.
All right.
He's probably about 10-ish, maybe even older than that, even maybe like 11 or something.
I guess it makes sense.
12. So, 20 years.
Yeah.
Well, he's probably not 35. He's probably like 32 or something like that.
That makes sense. Then.
Makes you feel fucking old when you see that.
I guess
It's like when they have that Jurassic Park 3D trailer. It's like, remember the 90s?
You already forgot, right?
Remember, here's a picture of you as a boy in the theater watching. You were 5. You were happy. You were youthful.
It's just kind of funny.
Here's a picture of you now in the theater. Your dreams and aberrations have kind of gone down the hill. What happened to you?
Life is a
See
downward
those old
spiral.
men you're sitting next to right now?
That's you.
Douchebags. 60 years old. That will be you in the future. Look you're at the 10 o'clock showing where nobody else is there. They are. What is that saying? You're like, stop it, Jurassic Park! Don't do it to me, man!
It just says, after that, it just says, Jurassic Park 3D, coming in March. You know, that's all the whole thing was.
You can kill yourself afterwards.
Yeah. No, but there's, like, I just think they said, remember, and it just shows Jeff Goldblum. Remember when Jeff Goldblum had a career, you know?
Remember when Jeff Goldblum had hair?
Yeah.
He looks really like him when he's got like the shaved head now. He looks really weird.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm just being.
He doesn't look bad.
He still has work. I want to say he's on a TV show now. He's like on some Miami Vice type show.
Yeah, I think it's on Law and Order, one of those ones.
One of those things.
Like he still does actually a lot of stuff. It's funny because like for some reason like when an actor switches jobs between like TV, movies, or theater, or something in between, you almost kind of go once they leave one medium, you're like, oh, he's fucking gone.
He's on Tim and Eric every so often.
But apparently he has a TV show like every fucking week and he actually makes more money.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, oh. Yeah.
He's on the tabloids, who gives a fuck, you know? Kind of like the society we live in.
He's not the main star of a fucking movie.
If I can't go online and if I can't go on like fucking TMZ.com and find out if he took a shit this morning, he doesn't fucking matter. That's kind of the world we live in this day and age.
Yeah, that's lovely.
No, but people just want to know every little fucking detail for some reason.
You know what's really cool, Bold the Head, is like the guy... The main bad guy, I really like that guy a lot because he was the guy that played Conan in the new one. Did you ever see that Conan one?
I didn't see the new one.
It was pretty cool. I actually liked it quite a bit.
Oh, okay.
I mean, obviously it's not Arnold, but
yeah,
but it's still pretty badass, and I think he still does a really good job.
Is it actually pretty gory?
No, it's pretty cool. It's still violent.
All right, good.
I mean, it's got like more CG-ish in it, not like real like the other.
Do they have like creatures and monsters and shit like that?
But it's fucking badass though. I liked it a lot.
I'll have to check that one out. No, then there's I thought it was kind of funny when the
awesome bad guy.
When the opening it was like the opening literally just started with a bullet going through the Warner Brothers logo
and then like the Newcastle or whatever it's called. Or was Newcastle a beer?
Maybe
what the fuck's that company called?
There is a Newcastle beer. Maybe it's like maybe
something Castle.
There could be more than one Newcastle. Who knows?
Yeah.
And then it ends. Then it just opens up and just like it has like Stallone like I kill lots of people, what I do, you know. Actually, he almost sounds sounds like a more understandable Nick Nolte. That's kind of how he sounds now. Yeah. Really.
Oh, the one thing I love is because they showed these pictures in a montage of like he's like I've been a criminal all my life, and it showed like and like the pictures were all like clearly from like they were him as like a kid all the way up, or not kid I guess, but like a teenage. No, fucking let's say this 20 years old and up. And you can see one that's like, oh, look at, there's like a Rocky-like picture. Oh, look at, there's like a Rambo-like picture.
It's like a Judge Dredd picture.
I know, it's like you like leaned over and you're like, what if the next one's just fucking him and the Judge
Somebody just handed like a flash drive, like, all right, here's a bunch of pictures, here's just a bunch of mugshots of his movies. All right, just throw them in there, of his like older movies. So just put it in there. Just, not even looked at it.
I didn't even fucking care. Just, the guy told me just to put him in there. I didn't know.
Because, yeah, you could see, okay, Rocky, there's Rambo, I see that. Like, then, like, what the fuck? Judge Dredd.
That was just with sold the helmet on.
Because Judge Dredd did go to prison at one point in that movie, so it would have made sense.
Yeah, it would have made sense.
Yeah. And then we got, like...
You know, that's what they always bug me in that Judge Dredd movie, though. It's like, they're in the sophisticated future... Don't you think that they would have had, like, some kind of, like, GPS tracking on Dredd that they'd be like, well, clearly he wasn't fucking there. That was one thing I just couldn't, like, I was like...
Yeah, I think it's set up a little easily.
I think that works back in the day, too, before, like, people were... Because that was back then where people didn't really know what GPS was. Mm-hmm. So you didn't need to, like, it probably wasn't even thought of before in the movie. Mm-hmm. But I guess I just think of it, like... Because it was around.
Yeah.
It is a science fiction movie, like... I feel like that problem would have been solved in seconds in this day and age. You could never have had that story plot.
I think it's kind of really hard to tell, like, a story about being framed this day and age and have it be believable.
Yeah, because you really got to think it out.
Yeah, you really do. Remember for a while we were, like, we still might do it, but we were talking about doing, like, kind of like a crime, like a dark crime comedy movie, but then we were like, I don't know. They were bringing in all these things. Oh, fucking GPS, cell phones. God damn it. You know?
Yeah, it's like there's all this futuristic stuff now. It's hard. Make a period piece.
Yeah. Make it in the 90s. Something would be harder to do.
Yeah, because nobody knew of these things back then. Cell phones,
Oh, we don't
GPS.
got the money to do it in the 90s. Fuck, we'll figure it out. Anyway. But anyway, moving on about, what else about this movie? There was the, there's armor. Do you remember, like, on his, whenever they showed he was driving the Cadillac, did you notice, maybe there's like a rights thing on this, but the Cadillac that Stallone was driving, it had, like, the emblem missing. It had the little reef thing, but the emblem was missing. It wasn't kind of like, we don't want Stallone driving our fucking car.
That might have been it, because probably it's one of those ones, like, maybe Cadillac wasn't getting the thing, like, well, fuck it, we got this car. Right? Stallone just has this car, so we're going to use it.
Yeah. I don't know, I'm just kind of wondering there. Wouldn't you want, like, because, I don't know, maybe, it's just one of those things. I was kind of wondering. Maybe he has, like, bad driving history or something, because it's one of those things, like, what's his name? Ferris Bueller, his real name? Forgot his name.
Matthew Broderick?
Matthew Broderick? I didn't know this, but apparently, because it seems kind of like a weird advertisement choice. Matthew Broderick, he, there's that whole, like, scene where he takes the car out for a day, and Ferris Bueller, he actually, after Ferris Bueller was filmed, he actually accidentally had a drunk driving accident and killed a mom in Ireland. And then, yeah, snare drums, and then like, last year, a year before, they had like him in a Super Bowl commercial for, I think it was, I don't remember what it was.
Don't fuck up.
No, but it was like a Ferris Bueller like commercial, like, they had the, that. Oh yeah. They're playing that there was a whole Ferris Bueller theme commercial with Matthew Broderick. I'm like, I'm not sure he's the person you particularly want advertising your car if he got in a DUI and killed a woman.
That's like Vince Neil, like, yeah, fired!
Buy Ferrari!
Coke! Be careful, you'll kill your best friend.
Yeah. So maybe it was, I don't know, maybe like Stallone, maybe it was like, I don't know why Cadillac, like, we don't want fucking Stallone driving our car. Maybe it's something like that. I don't know. Could be it could just be one of those things like
you think anybody wants Stallone driving your car, you'd be like, God, that's the greatest thing ever.
Yeah. No, but then there's another thing in the movie that actually kind of caught my attention. There's that part, like, usually Stallone could kind of say whatever, and it's just like, okay, whatever. He could say something very cheesy, but it sounds like he's just, whenever he talks, sounds like he's gargling hot asphalt. So it's just like, it sounds pretty badass.
Manly voice.
Yeah, but there's this one line, nobody can make this line sound good. There's a line where he says, like, where they're checking someone down, and he says, like, he's over at this massage and spa. Let's go take a bath. It's just one of those things. I'm sorry, you cannot. He's looking at the Asian guy in the eyes like, let's go take a bath. I don't care how badass you are. Clint Eastwood couldn't even fucking pull that off.
That was pretty funny.
I'm not sure if it was just one of those things they thought it would be kind of cool.
Oh, I think it's supposed to be meant to be funny more than anything. Yeah. I don't think it was meant to be cool. I think it was meant to be funny.
Still, it's just one of those things. Like, that's something I never thought I'd hear Stallone say to another man.
Because I always got to think, like, the movie actually had some pretty good comedy. It had, like, good comedy. This one's, like, dark comedy. Like, I don't know if it was meant to be funny or serious, but...
Like, there's the part
where he's talking about, like, well, who was her mom? A crack whore. Fucking died 15 years ago. So you raised her? No, I just gave her money.
I like how you and me are the only ones that laugh at those parts in theaters.
Well, we're the ones that laugh whenever somebody gets shot, too. I don't know what it is. When people get shot in the head, it just makes me laugh. It gives me, like, a little, like, boyish, like, cheer. Like, oh, that's the spirit!
Your inner British boy comes out.
Like, yes, violence!
No, then there's the whole part where, what was it? There's the part with, like you said, the humor wasn't, like, his humor was pretty good because it wasn't him trying to make silly one-liners. It was more him just being very gruff and just always pissed off.
Yeah.
And kind of like, whenever, like, the Asian guy would say something like, I don't give a fuck, what the fuck is texting, or just something around those lines. Mm-hmm. He's like, are you going to bring in some kung fu? He's all like, kung fu, that's Chinese, I'm Korean, or whatever, just that kind of shit.
I like that one line, though. He's like, it's not the same thing. That'd be like saying my favorite Italian food is tacos.
Oh, yeah. That's a pretty good line, yeah.
I thought that was actually a pretty good line.
Yeah. That was a good flip.
Look, it has, like, those kind of things. Like, those are always kind of like those older people, like, humor. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But that's okay. That works. Mm-hmm. He's old.
He's pulling off. The thing is, he's kind of like... He's just kind of embracing, he's older, and this is what he does. Some people are saying, give it up.
I hate those people that say that kind of shit. So, like, it's like, what... like clearly, if you say give it up, you clearly were never an Arnold or Stallone fan, anyways.
Yeah, he's at least they're acknowledging they're acknowledging they're older and they're having limitations. It's not like Bruce Willis is still doing it, but it's not like he's like jumping out of like a 20-story building, like unloading a machine gun or anything like that. They're keeping it all within like with believability for the most part.
Well, it's still pretty like the action in this movie was
pretty
great.
good.
It was really cool. I liked it a lot.
Got pretty violent parts too.
Yeah, that was kind of the cool part.
Not
too.
overly violent, but just like there's like one or two parts just unexpected violence. Like they're doing the autopsy on like his partner who gets killed at the beginning of the movie, and they actually show him completely
like ripping him open.
Yeah, I see all the
cool.
guts and organs and everything. Just one of those things. That was, like douchebag next to us. Holy shit! You know.
Yeah. And I just like cause like whenever there's action, just like people getting slammed through like walls and tables and busted through. Like I just love the more shit that breaks in an action scene, the better. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it is. Bathrooms are always great places to fight in.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of shit that break people through.
Yeah, just
and it's in like a closed
it's all ceramic.
quarters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bad guy in it though was kind of weak. He was like the black dude with polio.
Oh yeah, like the African black guy was like, I'm rich and I live in Louisiana.
Yeah.
And I escaped my country because
I'm a douche.
fuck it. Yeah, I was douche.
I don't know.
I got polio.
I don't know what the deal is with that because like every so often, like I don't know, for whatever reason, the African accent when you're a bad guy, it's almost that much more creepier. Just the African like, I am evil and I am a rich African. I don't know what it is. Just for whatever reason, it just makes it that much more creepy. So much more creepier than, or so much more scarier than the like for what we see in movies, the stereotypical like angry black man gotta go shoot somebody. Like the very calm collective like African accent. I'm going to kill you slowly. Yeah. That's just always so much creepier than just like any other like stereotype. I think.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I like that guy.
Yeah,
that was like it's like at the end.
I mean, he
like,
wasn't a badass.
Fucking Conan guy just starts like killing everybody. He's like, "Fuck it!
I don't give a shit." Bam.
Yeah, like where's my money? Yeah. Don't give Stallone as much as me. I'm the new guy.
Yeah, and I like the whole axe scene at the end was pretty badass.
Yeah,
the whole axe battle.
That was pretty sweet. I don't know. Overall, I liked everything about it.
If you like 80s action films and Stallone, you'll probably like this movie. I mean, the plot's very predictable. There's moments where they try and throw a twist at you, but you see it coming from a mile away.
But that's mostly how 90% of movies are anyway. I just learned life. The more movies I watch, the more it's like very, very rarely is there a movie it's like unpredictable.
Yeah, and generally if you're a Stallone fan, you'll like this movie. So if you like 80s action films, check this flick out.
Yeah,
it's pretty entertaining.
Just as good as like the Arnold one too. Mm-hmm. So we get two of them pretty much in a row almost. Mm-hmm. And like that. And then we actually got a third one with Die Hard 5.
Die Hard 5, that's right.
So it's just like three.
That one looks like it's a little bit more over the top, but it still looks like.
Yeah, it definitely looks way more over the top.
Looks like it could still be good though. So we'll find out on Valentine's Day, I guess. Yeah.
Fucking A.
And then
but now this movie, really, if this movie would have just came out when the Sailor one could, I would probably say this movie would be like the best movie of like last year almost. Mm-hmm.
Or just throw them together, because really they're the same
movie.
movie.
Well, if you throw them together, it's just...
It's a perfect Batman movie.
That's like the best Batman movie ever made, which is Dark Knight Returns Part 2.
Yeah, because Dark Knight Returns...
Which technically is one movie. It's like Kill Bill 1 and 2. It's really just one movie. Well, or The Lord of the Rings. It's really just one fucking movie that's 10 hours long.
Well, Dark Knight Returns, it's one of my favorite stories in Batman. It's not my number one favorite story. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of people are like, blasphemy! But it's one of my favorites, though. It's probably within my top 5 or 6. This movie, though, definitely, I think you take parts 1 and 2, throw them together, you got the best Batman movie ever made.
No, yeah, by far. Like the other ones just don't even compare.
I mean, when you first saw part 1, you're a little like, why'd they get rid of the narration? What the fuck? But the second one opens up...
The second one, it feels like
it's
almost like smoothed out, that like the narration, you almost kind of forget, like, oh yeah, there was narration.
Yeah. Yeah, the second one doesn't bother you because it just... They don't, and plus they managed. They what they did in the first one is they take lines were in the narration and find a way to fit it to being out loud.
Yeah, so that I mean that works, but I just feel like in the second one it just flowed even smoother.
Yeah,
well, because really the only complaint I think in the first one just is the narration. Other than that, though, it's all good.
It's kind of what's kind of strange though. I mean, I think it depends on what the violence is happening to. Because there are moments where they hold back on the violence. There are moments where they hold back on the violence. There are moments where they amp the violence up from the
Well, it's kind of like when they're at like the carnival thing. Like the Joker's just killing people all over the place. But then like that one scene where like they kind of said like where like he's handing they still have it where they're handing out cotton candy. But, like, in the other one, it said, like, there was, like, a news flash that came up where it was like, oh, you know, a Boy Scout troop was killed at the carnival.
And they came in, like, on the helicopter thing where they saw a bunch of dead bodies on the ground, and Batman had a line, like, because Carrie Kelly saw a lot of her friends down there. He's just like, there's no going back now. She's like this forever, or something like that. It was something around those lines. Mm-hmm. So, and another thing was...
So it's like Joker, he can't kill kids, but he can kill a bunch of teenagers.
And And then there's another part where I notice it kind of depends.
Well, it's like I guess if you look at it this way, if you read the book, you know he killed the kids, but they just don't explain them.
They imply it.
They show it, but they
imply it in the movie because he's handing cotton candy out to kids. And then there's the part where they're running through the tunnel of love scene. Is hands down my favorite part of the movie.
Oh, it's so cool. It's like those ones. Those ones where in the comic book it's cool, but for some reason action just works so much better when you finally get to see it like in animation. You're like, oh, it's awesome.
I don't remember the name of the actual actor, but the guy who did the voice of Joker is the guy that played Ben Linus in Lost, and that guy did a spot on job as the Joker in this movie.
Oh, he was really good. And then at first when you first hear him, you're like, oh, it's a different take, but then after a while it's just like, no, this is a really cool take on it.
What's cool about him is because the whole time Joker is holding back. He's just kind of being really reserved, saying like, all right, well, I'm just, you could still sense the Joker. You could kind of tell it was the Joker, but he was holding back. And then once he and Batman go at it at the end, he just unloads and it's Joker.
Yeah, it's just like since he's been holding back for so many years, it's just finally he's just gone like
comes out
and goes crazy and just starts
blows
killing.
His Joker load all over Gotham City.
So he really kills like 1,000 people in like the matter of like an hour.
Yeah, and that whole part though, I love that. I mean, there's certain things I'll say. I mean, a lot of people yell blasphemy. I think there's certain things the book does better, but there's certain things the movie does better. Yeah, and I love the scene in the studio audience when Joker just kills everybody, and just the way he goes about it and just the delivery of everything. Because in the book, originally what happened is he just had the robot children or whatever fly in the room and gas the room, and then you saw him. It was just one of the weirdest pictures. If someone just flipped through the book and saw like, what the fuck? You see Joker sitting on this robot doll, just flying over this everything. Dead audience. Yeah. And then, but in the movie though, that part where, because originally the thing just came in, flew around, and just gassed everybody in the room, and then Dr. Walper in the movie, the way it works is Joker, like he has like a coffee mug of like the host, and I'm pretty sure he's supposed to be like a David Letterman kind of guy.
He's supposed to be like that.
And he's all like, "Hey, do you mind if I have this mug?" He says, "Oh, go ahead."
Like a Johnny Carson's in the 80s.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, go ahead. We have a closet full of them." He's like, "Great!" He like breaks it, slashes Dr. Wolper's throat, and they actually show it. So it's one of those things like, holy shit! So they'll show something like that. But then I noticed when I got to the tunnel of love scene, when he's running around shooting people, it was a little bit more like I kind of noticed it. It was like if there's and I'm not really complaining about it, but if there's violence towards women, they really
from afar.
It shows it from afar, or there's no blood.
So the fact that he punch, I like when he punches, like when he takes the kid, he
punches the mom.
I was laughing so hard
because I noticed whenever because there's a part where he shot a lady and you just the chick fall over, but there's a part where it was close up where he shot some guy, you saw blood fly up, and
it's same like when like the security guard guy doesn't actually show him get killed. Mm-hmm. He shows him on the ground dead afterwards, but it just does a little quick cut. Mm-hmm. Go back to Batman.
If this movie was live action, it would easily be an R. I think they just take it easy on it.
Yeah. Well, because something about animation, I don't know what it is. I guess it just doesn't. I think people go like, well, it's not real, so it's not nearly as bad.
Well, you think it would almost make it more because well, this would attract children. So
you think that they would just push it up to R anyways, but for some reason I don't know why that is because PG-13 like animation is always like way more violent than like a PG-13 movie.
And there's the part because even like it gets more violent in the book in certain parts because like there's the whole part where we're just talking about this movie's amazing. We've been talking for 10 or 15 minutes on the carnival scene alone. That's how fucking good this movie is.
Fucking like 15 minutes on the movie.
We're not even at the part where fucking Superman, he goes against Superman, or the part where he fights swastika tits. We're not even at that part yet. So, he's on, there's the part where, because originally in the book, there's the scene where he's going against the Joker's goon, which I forget the guy's name. And,
the fat guy?
Carrie Kelly's going against that guy, and that was originally it works better in the movie because originally in the book it was a parallel action. It showed what Carrie was doing while Batman was fighting Joker, and it kind of starts off that way, but then it just kind of goes, it just focuses primarily on that. Then it cuts to what Batman and Joker are doing in the Tunnel of Love. Mm-hmm. That sounds very gay, but when you see the movie, you'll know what I mean. Yeah. So now that whole scene originally when that guy died. He got like, you saw it was from a distance. You saw his head get hit by because they were fighting on a roller coaster. Mm-hmm. You saw his head get hit up by a roller coaster. You saw you could see blood fly, but it was just from a distance. That guy when he goes up and he gets
caught in like the
gears and gets dragged up,
that pulls the roller coaster.
And just like it sprays blood. It sounds like a chainsaw.
It's like oh fuck.
That part was just awesome. This is just an all-around, just an amazing movie. And then there's the whole part where plus it gets you on the dramatic level too, like the whole scene when I thought they did a good job of because the way I remember it from the book, I might be wrong, but the way I remember it from the book, there's only one guy with the Batman symbol tattooed on his face. And this one, they have a whole gang of those guys. It makes more sense because it differentiates the mutants from the Sons of the Bat.
I thought they all had that on their face for some reason in the book, too.
I remember being...
I thought that was like the whole point of the gang is that everybody had that look.
I thought, well, maybe it does at the end, but I want to say, I'm going to go grab that rope.
Nobody can hear you when you walk off.
Hear me from a distance.
No, they can't.
Right. I want to say right here... I'm just going to flip through it, and must be...
Because I thought they did, because I just read it not that long ago. But
I thought it was just one guy that had it. Maybe it's not.
Oh, well, there's like one main guy that's talking, but I thought they all had it. They've gone too far.
At the very end, it's at the very end where they're all in the...
But still, I guess it's nothing too big to worry. Well, I don't think at the very end they did.
Because there's all the mutants right there.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. No, there's more than one guy. Never mind. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. All right.
Good thing we got that important detail out of the way.
I'm sure they're just riveted in that. No, but anyway,
well, the one thing I like about the movie too, like with the Superman part, I like how in the book, sometimes the book, like, and I know this is kind of like back then. I know some people have some complaints because of that. Like, if there's a complaint in that book, is like from Superman fans that Superman's kind of looked upon as a little bit like the bitch. And the movie comes across more as like a little bit more understanding, I guess. Because sometimes I guess when there's a difference from when you read something and then when you can actually hear it with the tonnage and everything.
Inflection and tone makes a big difference.
Besides the book, it just kind of goes like, he's Superman, he's a Boy Scout, he's very one-sided, he listens to Ronald Reagan.
Yeah.
Just like a good boy should. And it's just like in the book, it's more like, oh, well, okay, Reagan, sure. I'll go talk to him, I mean, like, I know him personally. Yeah. We had that one night in Nam. I guess, well, you seem like you'll do a good job there, boy.
Did DC, I know Marvel acknowledged Nam. Did DC ever visit Nam?
I don't know.
Because DC was one of those ones that, with the exception of Dark Knight Returns, for a while they kind of turned their back to like what was going on and like putting like
yeah, they just kind of had like it's like their own world, which I kind of like that way more anyway.
Which Marvel always like acknowledged what was going on everywhere. Marvel sometimes they do the thing where they go too much. It's kind of like, okay, major events like wars and all that, I understand.
But then Barack Obama on the cover of like Spider-Man, it's like, I like Barack Obama, I like Spider-Man. I don't know if they need to be together though. That's kind of weird.
Well, I don't have a problem if they acknowledge that he's
Barack
the president.
Obama's like gets bit by a spider and just starts like fucking fighting crime with him. Because like Barack Obama man.
Barack Obama man.
Or just
we really
Obama
need the man. We really need the man.
Obama man.
Who is Obama man? The news store. We're going to the president. Oh, the president has no response for some reason on who Obama man is. Anyway, he just comes in.
Where's the president at? And why does he keep getting things done? He always seems to get the story first.
Oh, that president always keeps up showing up late. He comes in the room like, sorry I'm late, guys. Like,
me and Peter were out.
Mr. President, you just missed Obama man. Oh, I did? Shit.
Who's this Obama man I keep hearing about?
He's adjusting.
Sounds like a good fella.
Yeah. But no, what was I gonna say? No, but it's more
like they can't piece the fucking together.
He has the fucking O from his like
the
star and that's not star. It's
the fucking like I know what you mean. Yeah, because it's kind of supposed to be like a Superman thing. But
yeah. But no, but
so I guess Ronald Reagan's like, okay, now you bring him in, and if you have to kill him, well, you fucking kill him. Yeah. Ronald Reagan.
Well, I liked what they did about
Ronald Jimmy
Reagan.
Stewart out there too. Fucking kick that guy's ass too, a fucking faggot.
Trying to put solar panels on the fucking White House.
Yeah, it took me 2 fucking days to get those off.
Myself. We're America. We don't need to conserve energy. But I like what they do with Ronald Reagan is they don't actually make him seem like he's
they'll do the thing they kind of do with like Nixon and like the Watchmen, where Nixon's like
he's evil.
They make him like they really make like so probably some of like it's like okay Nixon's evil, but you don't need to make him like
yeah.
And it's just like look at my nose.
I thought he did a good job, even though I don't like Nixon. I thought they did a good job in Frost and Nixon.
Yeah, because I think that comes across as a more realistic approach to it
instead of just being
kind of like the other Sheen brother.
Yeah, like I think the way they did a good job with Reagan in the movie was
Reagan.
He didn't come across as like evil. He just came across kind of like oblivious, kind of like oh don't worry, we'll show those good Russians who's boss. God's on our side. Winks at the audience.
Yeah, winks. He just it comes across like that, which is kind of how Ronald Reagan sort of was.
Yeah,
that's why people liked it a lot.
Mm-hmm. And there's the whole part I thought that just like plus like because there's a lot of like the satire humor Frank Miller threw into Dark Knight Returns. He's just like, well, the good news is our good old American boys showed those Ivans who's boss back on that like island in South America. The bad news, well, them Russians are pretty sore losers. And then you just see the missile.
Yeah. And he's like fucking like in like the like either a bomb shelter in space or somewhere. Just
I think he's in space because he's like in an astronaut suit or something.
Well, that's one that's like it's either an astronaut suit or he's in like a bomb shelter with like a radiation suit.
Yeah, something like that. Well, they showed like they had a guy, they had an astronaut like on like a teleprompter, not a teleprompter, on like a computer screen behind him or something like that. Damn right, doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah,
it's up there with the fucking.
The director doesn't even fucking know because he was saying like in his little commentary of the movie, he was all like, yeah, some people thought he was an astronaut, some people thought he was that sounds weird. Some people thought he was an astronaut, some people thought he was the president. We're not too sure. No, some people thought he was in a bomb shelter. We just said whatever, fuck it.
Yeah, makes sense. And then there is like, they probably want to ask Frank Miller on that because like Frank Miller's gone crazy now.
Yeah,
I got respect for Frank Miller, but that dude's, that dude kind of, maybe he's changed a little bit, but he lost it during the whole like fucking, not saying the whole Occupy movement was totally was like 100% solid, but that he like when he like posted something on like Twitter saying, oh yeah, the Occupy, they're a bunch of rapists and thieves and deserve to get fucking shot. Like, what, you talking about like, the Wall Street people? No, the fucking kids in the Occupy. It's like, you're one of my favorite writers. You're saying this shit?
The Occupy thing was just kind of, I don't know. I just remember like there's one in fucking like Nashville, and there's like these people like camping outside, and they're like, we can only camp for like 2 more days, then they're gonna pass this law that says we can't camp out here anymore. I'm like, well, goddamn right, you bunch of fucking freeloading hobos. You live in Tennessee. Everything's fucking handed to you. Come to California.
We had that in downtown Sonora. They had to Occupy in downtown Sonora.
I know, it's just one of those ones like, well, it's just like, especially when you see states, it's like, you got it off so much better than us. What the fuck are you complaining about? You got a job on every corner. What the fuck are you doing occupying here?
Well, I'm not saying kind of like, oh, I'm so occupied. I see good and bad things in it altogether. But just the fact that for like someone as genius as Frank Miller to post something like
fuck those people, even though I wrote a comic about kind of fighting the system.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people would always say that like this comic, I mean, to go on a tangent there, but a lot of people say this comic, it's very left-wing. I'd say it's right in the middle because it attacks both sides. It attacks, like, the hardcore conservatives, Reagan. And then also attacks people that are just, like, trying to be, like, overly understanding. Well, like Dr. Walper, how he's kind of like, the Joker's a poor, misguided, understood person,
So, yeah, I feel it's more like a more of a thinking man's ground, almost. Well, because then you even have, like, Carrie's parents who are like, yeah, man, we'll fucking just smoke pot. Just be like, the 60, man, just gonna wave over.
Just some of the lines that you even have, too, like, hey, what was like all those things we marched for and that were worth nothing? Like, we have a kid, right? I forgot.
Yeah, just like, they just feel like, yeah, whatever, fuck it, man. Like,
that Batman
guy,
we
went marching, yeah, but we're just there for the free beer and pot. Like, fuck it.
Yeah. It's like that
Who
Batman...
cares about Nixon, man? They're like, fuck him. I mean, I voted for him. 4 times. He wasn't even on the ballot the other 2 times, but I just kept voting for him. Fuck it.
No, but like, I've got a Watchmen like crossover there. But this flick, yeah, if you...
Actually, technically could have voted for him 4 times. I think he ran a bunch of times.
Well, he did run a bunch of times.
He ran against, like, John F.
JFK
Kennedy.
and he lost, yeah.
And then he ran... I think he even ran another time, too.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
No, but then there's an all-around awesome flick. I'm kind of curious to see, because they have the introduction... Well, actually, we should probably cover the Superman... I guess we kind of covered Superman over. The final battle, I gotta say...
I just like a Superman just kind of... I think he's treated better in this than the comic he kind of comes across. I mean, like, I think back in the day...
It's all just inflection.
I think Superman's been more developed over the years, that like, he is, but he kind of just comes across as just like, that's who you are. You're goody two-shoes. You're Superman. And to me, it's like... I just feel like a modern Superman, I don't think would just follow Reagan into all that kind of crap. You know what I mean? He'd be like, Reagan... Let's explain this. Let's sit down and talk about this. Mm-hmm. I cannot imagine like the Superman of nowadays just going over there and just fucking like killing Soviets left and right. I don't know. That does not seem like a Superman way.
Yeah. Something I'll say though, real quick.
Because really, Superman fucking kills more people than fucking the Joker does in that movie.
He really does. One thing about the comic though, I'm not complaining because it's a comic book and pages of action. Though it's cool for a little while, after a while, you're like, all right, get more to the point, because it's just, after a while, I'm just watching people just smash each other's face in. Plus, you have a narrative going over it, because you have the inner monologue. But this movie, because really, if it went, like, for panel, by the action scene in the comic, it would have been a very short fight. Because really, they're just kind of, like, Carrie comes in with the bat tank, shoots at Superman, Batman, they kind of like just slam and punch each other.
Well, because in a comic, you can't really... Strange enough, I know comics are mostly based off action, but technically a comic, you can't really do a whole lot of action. It's really, comic has to be like 80% talking, 20% action. really action is made for movies. That's what it's made for.
And it's very, the whole battle at the end, it's a very, the end of the comic, it's a very strategic battle that takes place, like, in the course of 3 pages, which that's a lot of fucking drawing. As an artist, I can say, that's a lot of fucking drawing, and plus, Frank Miller, he makes really small panels, and he jams a lot in there. His panel layout's really interesting. But like in the movie though, I was glad they actually really expanded on that action. And before this, made it like, okay, he's wearing a suit so he can withstand Superman's strength. But then like the movie though, they make it that he's like almost on Superman's level because they made it as if the suit can do so much more in the movie than it could in the book, which I'm fine with because might as well take advantage of that.
It kind of makes sense because you need that to fight Superman.
Because in the book, they're kind of just standing there. Most of the battle took place because he gets punched into a street lamp, and it just kind of stay. And they really just kind of stay in that space for the whole battle, just kind of like socking each other back and forth until Green Arrow shoots the kryptonite arrow at him. Mm-hmm. But the thing about the original scene was, I think it was just more to be just kind of a very bleak, very like almost kind of like. Maybe this might be a weird comparison, kind of like a Martin Scorsese, kind of like showed it, like kind of like Taxi Driver.
Kind of quick and simple.
It's quick, but it's really like kind of like badass at the same time. I think that's what he's going for. This one, you have your elongated, like just totally badass battle at the end.
Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of like that, kind of like what you say, like the conservative and liberal thing. You know what? When I think about it, it almost comes across that like Superman is conservative. Batman is liberal. Mm-hmm. Batman wears blue. Superman wears red. Because now like when I'm thinking about them, like that's kind of like almost how you could like really.
Some people there's apparently a book out there that breaks down all the DC characters and their political philosophies and all that. I don't believe in that because I'm not trying to sound like
that's the one where they say Batman's conservative, which is like okay. Here's the number one thing. What's his number one fucking rule?
Don't kill.
He doesn't kill. That automatically pretty much makes him not conservative. 2, he fucking is always donating to charity. That's not a Republican thing to do.
I think it's going
unless
by
you're going to get something out of it.
I think they're going by old values, like old style Republican compared to new style Republican.
Even still, though, that's still not like a conservative idea. Still isn't really like.
I think it's just kind of like like no compromise. We fucking finish it. We do it by our way. You know what I mean? I think it's like in that aspect. And I'm not defending that. The thing about the reason
it's kind of like the Rorschach thing too, because
Alan Moore even said
they even make that up in there that like the liberals are like these costume hooligans going after it again. That's why Rorschach's kind of more conservative because it's like they say it's like well at least he's getting something done.
Well, even though I'm not going to go on a political tangent here, but I'm just going to make the thing with Rorschach real quick. Alan Moore himself, because everybody always goes to Night Owl. It's like, oh, that's obviously supposed to be Batman. Alan Moore himself said Rorschach was supposed to be Batman gone bad. He says, it's really only a matter of time before Batman fucking loses it and snaps, and that's what Rorschach is supposed to be.
And drops people down fucking elevator shafts.
Yeah, I love that part. Or even though even though they changed it, I love that line they have in the movie where it's like he's like arrest me. He's like men get arrested. Dogs get put down. He grabs the fucking meat cleaver.
Yeah.
No, but anyway. But on the whole thing with that, I don't see the point in making a book saying, here's what this character's political philosophy is, because different people write these characters.
Well, yeah, and just one of those ones like, generally it's like that doesn't really make any sense, really. That's just somebody's opinion, and they get a fucking put in a book, and somebody decides to publish it.
Bob Kane had Batman walk around with a gun, an earlier version of Batman. Now they just kind of like, it never fucking happened. And
back then it's like most ones like, you're experimenting, because you really don't know. And that makes sense.
I'm not giving that shit at all. It's just one of those things, I don't see the point of coming out with a book, breaking down every character. I mean, it's interesting if you want to look into it, but I think to say this is what this character represents, there's so many different people that have written these characters over a course of, 70 years?
But just one of those ones, it's the idea of Batman's like, just calling him a conservative is just like, no.
I'd say he's right in the middle. I don't think he's conservative.
Well, I mean, like, I always think he's more, like, a little bit more liberal. Not, like, democratic liberal, but just the fact that, like, because he believes in the justice system.
He doesn't believe in killing, but he doesn't believe I don't give a shit if you come from a broken home, you're fucking endangering people. I'm gonna fucking break every bone in your body.
I just think it's like those ones he wants to use like a democracy. That's the reason I say he's more liberal because by doing the democracy system, we're like he should be tried in a court of law. That's like a very liberal thing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Because if he was a Republican, be like hang them, hang that bastard.
No, the other thing it gets used for Republicans, though, because some people are trying to use this for, actually, both movies. Dark Knight, I heard complaints on this about both movies, Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises. Some people in Dark Knight say, oh no, this is a movie saying why we need the Patriot Act, because he's using cell phone, monitoring to find out where the Joker is, and it's like, this is too much power, it says it needs to be done, And then in Dark Knight Rises,
because it's like, we have this really great fuel efficient energy system.
Well, there's that, but not even just that. There's also that people are saying, because Dark Knight Rises, when that was being made, the whole Occupy thing was going on.
Oh, yeah, because it has that, we're doing it for the people, the people's Gotham.
Yeah. Well, that was just that's one of those things where people say that was like pro-Republican shit, anti-Democrat shit. I don't think that. I think it's one of those things, because
it's gonna happen.
It just kind of like worked out. It just looked like it, because when you really look at it, there was, in Dark Knight Rises, they had evil rich people and senators and congressmen on their side, and they had the evil, guys like, we're for the people, like Bane and the League of Shadows and all them. So it's one of those things, and Batman's just in the middle. So I think
I don't think Batman's, he's not like the extreme, because really, if he was extreme liberal, he would be like Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah, and
that's really like the extreme liberal, like. And
then I looked at, like, I remember there's an article on, I didn't read it, but I saw like there's a Rolling Stone article. It was like, I think it was like the Breaking Bad cover, and in the corner it's just like interesting story, Batman versus Occupy. It's like, oh god damn it, It's so like a screenshot of like Batman versus fighting Bane. It's just like, I didn't even read it, but I could just
just some liberal bullshit coming in here.
Sometimes, like, I do tend to lean more to the left than I do to the right. But Rolling Stone sometimes seems kind of like, it's like, oh, pot got legalized in the state. That's good. Like, all right, that's cool. What else is good? What? This one guy who's a Republican, his wife got fucking raped and his baby was eaten last night. That's fucking awesome. It's like,
but here's the bad thing. His fucking son is now running to stand for governor. Fuck that kid.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, that's kind of overkill right there. No, it's fucking not. So
and he hates gays.
Yeah.
You know what? If you want to, come on, we're going to show up at his house and fucking throw Molotov cocktails through his window and say, fuck him!
It's just one of those things.
Vote Obama! And Obama's like, whoa, you guys calm the fuck down.
Rolling Stone is sometimes, even though they got some good articles here and there, and like some interesting stuff, every once in a while they're just like, we're way too fucking liberal! So,
yeah.
No, but yeah.
Batman.
Kind of like, actually no, Howard, like, kind of like to a Howard Zinn level almost.
Yeah, well, Howard Zinn just seems like a little, like, whiny bitch. That's what I think about him.
He's interesting to read. He would have some.
Well, he's got some he's got interesting stuff, and he knows what he's got to talk about. But he just seems like a naysayer, just like no. Well, what do you do? Oh, I sit in like a rich house all day and fucking, I don't got problems.
Talk about why communism's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah. It's just like, well, fuck you. Think you're so cool and all.
Well, I give that guy credit because he served in World War II, and I had to read one of his books for history class, and he had some interesting stuff. I'll say this: he's fun to read, strictly in the sense of reading. I guess,
but even like reading though, it's like after a while, it's like, okay, this is kind of funny, this is kind of cool, but then after a while, it's just like you're just a little bitch.
It's not leaning on his politics. I'm saying strictly in the sense of his writing. It's entertaining to read. Now, I'm not saying that in a condescending way. I'm saying he used interesting examples, interesting stories of revolutions, inner stuff, and conspiracy shit. Whether you believe it or not, it's interesting shit to read. Yeah. But it's just when you get down to the civil rights movement, it was good, but it didn't really help communism, so whatever. It's just like, that's kind of a big fucking deal. Well, it didn't help communism that much. It's like, all right, well, what do you drive? A fucking Porsche. How much do you charge for your lectures back when he was alive? But
yeah, it's just he just kind of comes across a little bitch. I don't know.
That's what Batman would say. Batman would say, yeah, you're kind of a bitch, but yeah.
Because it just seems like one of the guys is like he just looks for only the negative in life. It's just like he's one of those like non-positive thinking people. Mm-hmm. And it's just like I like that's the thing is like that kind of attitude. It's like bad shit happens, but if that's all you think about, you'll just become that bad shit.
Back of his book, he said he was a huge Oliver Stone fan.
Yeah, well...
Oh, no, he said Oliver Stone fan when he gets it right.
Yeah, see, it's once again, fucking naysayer. Yeah. Fuck that guy.
No, but anyway, I'm not trying to suck that dude's dick or praise him or nothing like that. I'm here to suck Batman's dick, what we're doing.
That's what we're about.
Yeah. I wonder if anybody who comes into this the first time, whenever they bring up Batman, why do they talk in a redneck accent? People who just first jump into this without even
they don't know drunk Batman.
They don't know yeah. But anyway,
the Dark Knight Returns Part 2, that was just fucking all around badass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know. I really like that one a lot.
Yeah, put part 1 and 2 by themselves, really good movies, but put them both together, which I think they're meant to be.
It'd be cool just to see one where they edit them both together and just put them on one fucking disc, so it just plays in a full long movie.
This actually takes away from the whole like debating thing of like, you know, the whole politics thing, and even diverge from Batman, but it's still DC related. I took a look at the sneak peek for their upcoming
Superman one?
Superman Brainiac, the Brainiac thing.
That looks pretty cool.
You know, here's the thing with that. I bet it's probably gonna be pretty good. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be good, actually.
But they did talk about kind of like, we're going to do it different.
Well, that doesn't even bother me.
Me.
It doesn't bother me. The art style looks different. My thing is kind of like, look, Batman, Superman. Batman's my favorite superhero. Superman, I really like him a lot. He's up there. But really, I'm at the point for DC Universe, like, switch it up. Because everything they come out with, it's Superman or Batman most of the time. I mean, they have like 2 Green Lantern movies.
Well, it's like,
Wonder
we
Woman.
tried Wonder Woman, we tried Green Lantern.
No one gave a shit.
You didn't buy it as much.
So if they
They're
want to
just as good, but you didn't buy them.
And even though, like, well, Emerald Knights is okay. I thought First Flight was really good.
Yeah, First Flight's really good. That one's fucking awesome. It's like one of those ones, I'm not even the biggest like Green Lantern fan, but like I fucking love that one.
That one was really good. That's what the Ryan Reynolds movie should have been.
Yeah.
And then like if they want to get any other character in there, they got to use Justice League Doom. They got to use like make something like Justice League New Frontier or Justice League Doom to get them in there.
I mean, I understand this. I think it's just because it's one of those ones you're not going to make nearly as much money if it's not Batman or Superman.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Superman versus the Elite and All-Star Superman, great movies.
All-Star Superman's one of the best ones.
The Batman ones, all Batman ones, Gotham Knights, okay. But the rest of the Batman ones are all
well, Gotham
really
Knight,
good.
it's kind of like, it's not really like the DC animated ones made by like other people. So it's almost like outside.
They produced it.
They produced it, but I mean, like,
Yeah.
it's like outside, like...
Well, you almost would expect high things for that because, I mean... Not trying because a lot of those they're like shorts written by people who actually like one of the writers was a guy who did A History of Violence, David S. Goyer who did Batman Begins, and he came up with the story for Dark Knight. He also did the Blade movies. He was one of the writers on it. So it's just one of those things that like you think with all those people, and I think they threw a couple other names on there. It made sense, but like it was just kind of like this should have been better. Gotham Knight should have been better, but whatever. That's life. They can't all be amazing. But everything else,
we've beaten that dead horse.
Yeah, I won't go on that anymore. But like all the other Batman ones are really good. So it's just I'm at this point. It's kind of like I want to see something a little different. Just give me. I mean, I know.
I think what would be cool to do is the Flashpoint one.
I was about to say that Flashpoint. I think would be an amazing.
You can still put Batman in there.
You could put Batman in there.
Put Superman in there.
Well, it's like Thomas Wayne Batman. That's what's really interesting. And plus, you could do, or you could do something like a Flashpoint movie, or you could do like just a Flash movie, or maybe even like something like, cause like the Green Arrow short they had on one of the like.
Well, those ones like the shorts, like on that Superman really Shazam short, they're all like fuck. Those are some of like. And the thing is, like that Green Arrow one, it's really good, but compared to the other ones on there, it's probably my least favorite one. Like
and the Green Arrow one by itself is awesome.
You know, it's just one of those ones like they just made longer versions of something like that.
Yeah.
You know,
and then like do a. They could also do like a Justice Society one.
Well, I feel this is kind of how those things go. It's like one of those ones, like, the core people that, like, buy those movies, they'll buy no matter what comes out, you know?
Do some Alan Moore Swamp Thing or something.
You put anything on there, they'll fucking buy it. But I think this is the only thing, though, is, like, that probably is, like, half the profits. The other half the profits are probably just people that randomly pick those up, like, probably kids and parents and stuff like that. And the thing is, they go, like, well, if we put another character like that, we kind of lose that other half. Like, that kind of goes down almost. Because parents don't know who the fuck Flash is, or they don't know who this Green Arrow is. It looks like Robin Hood, but
I understand.
Confuses them.
I know. I understand all the like economic reasons why. It's just strictly as a DC fan. Come on, switch it up.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's easy for me to say because I have no.
I guess,
no
but also like, at the
on
same time, it's like I don't really mind if they just keep making more Batman ones. Like, there's enough books you can make Batman ones off till the day we die.
There is. I just kind of would like to see more characters and. All you really got to do, I mean, I think you got to make a big live-action movie before I guess you can really do these, because that's, I think they're trying to amp people up for Green Lantern by bringing out these animated
Well, I think
movies.
that's what, like, the Green Lantern one came out when the Green Lantern movie came out, so that makes sense. So maybe once they make other movies, they can actually start doing it.
Yeah.
Because I also like to see Marvel start doing more of them, because they did, like, that, like, the Hulk, Planet Hulk, that was a cool one, then they did the Hulk Versus, but... And they did the Thor, like the Tales of Asgard, but they should do more of those.
Tales of Asgard wasn't too bad.
I like that one quite a bit. The Hulk, like the Hulk ones are, because I like Hulk and all, but those Hulk ones are actually really cool.
I didn't
especially
see
the Hulk versus Wolverine one.
I didn't see the Hulk versus one. I love Planet Hulk. I love that story. So I was curious to see. I bought that just because it leads into World War Hulk, which is something I always wanted to read. I haven't got around to that yet. But the Planet Hulk, you said was pretty good though.
Yeah, no, that one was.
The book was good. So.
But
does he fight Silver Surfer in that?
No, they take. Remember, I told you they take him out and they replace him with what the hell is that guy?
Somebody
Beta
else.
Ray Bill.
Beta Ray Bill.
The guy from, like, Thor.
Oh, right, that dude.
Yeah, the guy has really weird names, like, clearly not from Norse mythology. But, yeah, like, they kind of replace him for that because some strange legal thing. That's what they said in special features.
You think it's kind of like, well, we're all doing it with Marvel. You think they just let us do it.
Yeah.
I think maybe because those are produced by Lionsgate.
I think probably because
20th Century Fox probably had rights to
Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four,
so
Silver Surfer.
That's kind of why. But that's, I just like to see him make more of those because really those animated... Strange enough, these animated like movies have actually become some of my favorite movies in the last while. Like I look way more forward to an animated movie made by DC or Marvel now than I do
the live action.
Than like live action movies. Well, by far they're way better than the live action movies. But
well, I think because they know they're just aiming for the fans.
Well, yeah, I think that's the one thing is just because like to me whenever I like these videos, it's just like this. If you just took this and made it live action, you would just have an amazing movie under your belt.
Yeah,
but I just don't think.
They're kind of scared to make that movie.
Well, I know because it's like I think a general audience might they always say that they're like a general audience member wouldn't be able to handle this. Mm-hmm. They have no idea what the fuck's going on. Hal Jordan, he can't be Green Lantern in 5 fucking minutes. They'd be confused because that's like what I like about First Flight. Just like, oh yeah, we got that over really quickly. Okay, let's go space.
That's all you really need. Just get to the point.
Oh hell, you flew around the world for 5 minutes. You figured everything out. Good tutorial.
Ring told me everything I need to know.
Yeah. He's pretty smart.
Plus, they had multiple villains in it. Didn't just have one villain. Well, actually,
yeah,
I guess the live action one.
It just felt like, and it's funny because like one's like
live action one had more.
Live action one's probably like an hour and 45-minute movie. I don't know, or something like that. And this one's only like an 80-minute movie, but it felt like this one was almost like twice as long, just as much stuff that happens.
Plus, the way they used Sinestro in it was really good.
Yeah.
Now the thing about this second, I'm hoping they make another Green Lantern movie, just because. I never read Green Lantern, but I just know some of the later storylines that come into play, and I just kind of want to see some of those. Like, I'm not sure if they'll reach the point. If we reach the point in the next 10 years or so, where we'll see like the main hero becoming the villain and killing off the Guardians. I don't think we're going to see that, but having like Jon Stewart or someone take his place.
Yeah.
But Jon Stewart, the Black Green Lantern, not Jon Stewart the comedian. Just have to clarify. No, because when I first read that, before I actually knew like that Green Lantern's actual real name, I was like. They said like Jon Stewart might be the Green Lantern on this one. Like Jon Stewart from the fucking Daily Show.
Like, oh, no, the Black Lantern. Oh, that makes more sense now.
Yeah. Or if you get to like reach that point, because now they're almost taken from like movies are taken from newer material. Like the next Marvel movie, the next Captain America movie is Winter Soldier, and that's a fairly recent storyline.
But that works. That's okay.
Like the new Iron Man, they're apparently taken from Extremis, which that's. Not super old. It's a fairly new story, so it's kind of interesting now because before it seemed like we gotta wait 20 years.
Well, it felt like they took from like the '60s material lots of times more than anything else.
Well, it seems like they have to say we gotta wait for this stuff to legitimize like 20 years or 15 years before we could actually even think about using this character. Mm-hmm. And now it's just like, oh, this happened like 3 years ago. Oh, throw it in there. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Why not?
But still, it's good. But yeah, Batman: Dark Knight Returns Part 2, fucking awesome.
Check it out.
But I think that's a good place to end it at. I'm Spencer Scott Holmes.
I'm Ryan Dunigan.
And we will see you next time.
Goodbye.